Hi everyone, welcome to this reading. I have my crystal ball off to the side, so I will be scrying throughout this message. If you're new to my channel, my readings are a little different. And if you're returning, welcome back. You know how I do. If it doesn't resonate with you, if you're forcing the story to fit, arguing with it anyway, just leave it behind for the people to resonate for. So, okay, let's go ahead and get into it. All right. Taking a step aside and allowing spirit to pass through me. Opening up to receive information. Okay. So whatever collective it is that I'm speaking to, there's a lot going on inside of the emotional space. I have the singer of the chalice showing up. This may have something to do with number 1 to number 2, our relationship to others as an individual. There may be something that's changing in that. There may be something, I'm feeling like a click over now as I'm stepping into that energy. There may be something that just changed. Either my feelings about someone has changed, or my feelings about this topic has changed, or my feelings about this thing and the way that I relate somehow has changed. It feels almost bittersweet. I'm going to say that as I'm stepping into this energy, it feels very bittersweet. I feel like I've just put down a mask and I'm looking at the new one. Like in a very metaphorical way, like I'm looking at the new one and I'm thinking, do I really want to put this on? And I'm understanding that this may actually be who I am. I've just discarded it for so long that I don't know. And there's a moment of hesitation. There's a little bit of a pause. Something big has shifted, and it's due to a healing here. We have, oh my God. We have the singer of healing, and we have Nellis the alchemist. So something has transformed. Someone here is on a very profound healing journey, spiritual journey also. I am being told to call the numbers out. So we have the healing journey. It's the 10. So there's a number 1. This is an individual healing, but with the number 10, there's something that's finalized, something that's over in this healing journey. We've come to the crux of something, right? We've come to the point of something. And then here with the Nellis the alchemist, we have 2 and 7. Again, this is something about how we relate, being something deep inside of us, the number 7. And so this may be something that we've transformed, is something internal is now changing the way that we relate to other people. Seeing how it ties back, that's something I just heard. We have the fairy godmother. This is presenting a particular type of choice that somebody has to make now. If you look at there is the pearl, and then there's the apple. There's this little creature that's hiding underneath also. And when we have the fairy godmother, she's always presenting us a choice, right? Are you going to do what's safe and comfortable, or are you going to do the thing that you know might grow your wisdom? The unfortunate thing is that the apple, that beautiful juicy fruit, is out in front, and the pearl of wisdom is kind of in the back. It's very subtle. It's very subtle. You could do that. You could not do that. Nobody would ever know, right? Again, it's the 2 masks. It's the face that we've presented and the identity that we've been in for so long. And then what we're realizing is actually inside of us. That moment of hesitation before we pick that up and understand that in order to live our fullest, we have to pick that up and live that way. This is very beautiful. Someone's at like this crossroads in their journey. Okay. Again, there's this sense of being very bittersweet. There is this, the fairy guide, it's the blank card next to the doomness gloom. And so we may not have understood previously what it was that had put us in this energy, this doomness gloom. Doomness gloom is, in the book, he's described as, being gloomy, being like a victim, being very like depressed and sad, and everything is what was me. But as I'm stepping into this energy here, what it feels like is more like, oh, these things are off limits to me, or I can't go there, right? It's this limitation, and we may not have understood why that limitation was there. Now what I'm feeling is coming into the energy, now that this is transformed, is that we're no longer accepting that limitation. We're understanding that we've turned a new leaf. We have the maiden. This is about something new. There's something new that's coming in. The maiden itself, being this child, or being like this childlike, maybe a personality. This may even be literal. Maybe there's a new child, but there's something new that's beginning. And we understand that this is something that we have to pick up while this transformation is taking place. The energy is right. I do want to say that there may be something about friends, someone who's your friend may be important to this. We have friends with 46, so there may be something that we're conflicted about inside of this friendship, but it does seem to be because we have some sort of choice to make. It's sitting underneath the fairy godmother, and then we have the Lady of the Harvest again, because if we make that choice, it means something here would end. So for some of you, this might look like leaving a friendship behind. For others of you, it might be about growing your friendship to a new level. It may be learning to trust people again. Learning to trust in a particular situation is something that just came through as I stepped into that. I have the 1 and the 8. This is self-making, right? This is the individual with the number 1 and 8, what we're manifesting for ourselves. There's something that we know we need to put behind us so that we can manifest in this new space. Some of you may have a friend helping you in this. Well, you know, I'm trying to feel this energy out. I feel like the friendship card is actually hitting a little differently for all the different storylines that I kind of feel in this energy. So I'm not going to speak too much on that or get too definitive on it, because I think it's going to be different for everybody. Let's see. 3 cards for underlying energy, please. Notice how the underlying energy, all the cards are black and white, right? We have Talm the poet. Talm the poet gets stuck in his head a little bit. He likes to be the romantic. He's a little bit of the hopeless romantic. He likes to see the beauty in things, but he may be a little wistful right now. He might be in his head. He might be feeling the more darker energy of romance, right? Where we may be having these fears. We may be obsessing a little bit. Talm the poet can have a little bit of a dark side whenever he comes up inside my reading, and that's not necessarily bad, right? But there is something that we may be overthinking, or we may be obsessing about, or romanticizing right now, and this is causing somebody to take something very slow here. We have Geo the slow. The thing about Geo the slow is it's like the leaves in nature. You don't always see them growing, right? You don't always see them growing and aging and doing their thing. So other people may not notice that this process is happening inside of us as we release something and as we step into something new. But here with Mike the Myomancer, another underlying energy that's taking place here is, while we're taking it slow, we're looking for signs. Mike the Myomancer is always looking for signs. He's looking for, is this the right direction? Am I on the right path? Am I doing the right thing? Someone with Talm the poet being opposite, because this has a tinge of that devil energy for me. I like it. I think it's in a very healthy way. This right here, this may mean that somebody's watching a lot of readings, for example, to look for signs on this particular situation. There is one card that's standing out to me as the point of all of this, right? And I'm being told to start taking from the bottom of this, so I'm going to. And the card that's standing out for me is the next card, and the next card is unity, right? So either this is like a unification of ourself, learning how to merge with the external in, you know, kind of a non-dualistic way for someone. It may be trying to merge with another person. It may be trying to merge with a group of friends. It may be trying to merge aspects of self, right? It's going to be different for everybody, but this new phase of alchemy, it does seem to be bringing somebody into a place of wholeness or oneness. Now, this shift that's happened in this choice, it all hinges on this choice. This choice is actually our initiation. Do we get to go through that gate? Do we get to experience that thing, that unity? Or are we going to make the same choice that we've always made? This is really, you know, dependent on how we learn. Okay, and so, sorry, I had a spam call. Actually, that might have been my vet. Oops. I always forget to turn the calls off while I'm doing readings, so then they always interrupt my readings. But we have this Singer of Initiation, and the Singer of Initiation really implies that this is kind of a moment where we get to see, like, did we learn everything from the past, or are we going to choose the past again? Are we going to choose the safe way? Have we actually evolved from that state? I almost feel this sense of like urgency or rush in this, and this is why. It's almost as though this initiation point, right, this moment of choice, this moment of decision is happening a little too close to when a person is realizing this. Someone hasn't had the space or the time to process it the way that I think that we as people, we like to have the time and space to process something before we make a major decision. But for whatever reason, this is how it's working out at this time. There's a major decision coming up. I don't mean to place like a seriousness on it, because I think we need to approach these situations with joy and with lightheartedness. When we make things too serious, we tend to make the wrong choice, right? We tend to gravitate towards the thing that either feels safe or the thing that's just a really bad idea. And but this is how the energy is hitting me, so I have to say it. The next one is Penelope Dreamweaver. There's something that we forgot that we wanted. Right? We forgot that we wanted something, and whatever this thing is, it seems to be that we're being presented the opportunity to have that thing or to go after that thing, and this would lead us to our joy. This is the whole reason why this alchemy has taken place, is to find our bliss, so to speak. The interesting thing is that this ecstasis card, which is what's symbolizing it now, it's showing up. The number on it is 2, and so with unity, this number 2, there's something here. There's just something here about the unification of things, of the coming together with things, whether it's yourself and people at large, or if it's with a specific person, or with it, whether it's friends, or it is, 2 aspects of yourself again. There's the concept of merging is very important here. And I do want to say that part of this, one of the things that this feels like to me, is that first and foremost, we're merging something inside of ourselves. Again, integrating something that we've recently seen. And just like Nels the Alchemist being about alchemy, we have the Singer of Transfiguration showing up. And the transfiguration is when something is no longer the same state. It's no longer the same essence or the same being. This seems to be that someone has come into a place where they're at a moment where they are about to fully initiate a period that has already started for them. This is a long period of healing, a long period of alchemy, a long period of growth. But now there's this one thing. And as we step into the energy of this one thing, fully accepting this one thing about ourselves that may require us to exhibit it externally to unify something, this is what causes the entire transformation. Again, the healing portion has ended. Now this seems to be following ourselves, following our intuition into our full expression, right? So this is beautiful energy. Okay. Okay, so the divine feminine energy may be important to this reading for somebody. I'm not actually feeling that I'm supposed to speak on that very much, so I'm going to leave that. I'm just saying that this is what's showing up. We have also the card fantasy, so daydreaming, imagining, fantasizing. Somebody may be daydreaming a lot about something. Maybe it has something to do with this sort of divine feminine energy. It may be something having to do with where they see their life going in the future. I do want to say that one of the things that's standing out to me are the roses, right? And these roses are kind of unfolding. So someone may spend a lot of time thinking a lot about their own personal journey and how it's unfolding, where they're going, where it's taking them. Here we have clarity, truth, intentions, and honesty. This feels a little bit more like advice. We are maybe looking for signs here with the Myomancer being underneath it about whether now is the right time to say something. So this may be the advice for somebody if you've been asking questions like, hey, is this the right direction? Should I be saying something about this? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing for myself? If you are recognizing that something has changed inside of you and that there's something that you actually feel that you need to bring forward, this could definitely be a sign for somebody here. Okay, where else am I going? Am I going someplace else? I am going someplace else. Okay. Okay. This is all, again, going back to this idea of the Nellis the Alchemist leading to the Maiden. And we had a couple of number 8s here representing manifestation. This is all something that we've created for ourselves. We have creation coming out. Now, this is my avocado card. I feel like it looks like an avocado. And there is... I'm going to say this, right? Okay, so let me nerd out for a second. I tried to grow an avocado one year, and I did the whole thing. I cut the seed, I suspended it in water, and it grew roots. It grew roots, and it grew a little shoot. And that little shit took forever to grow. It took forever to grow. And I wound up not being able to keep it. Something happened to it. I don't remember what it was, but it was so slow. This is sitting on top of Geo the Slow. This process for somebody of this... trying to make a decision is very slow. Slowness is not always a bad thing, but I do want to emphasize there's something about this initiation card, right? There's something when I pulled that initiation card, it felt like this initiation, that period of when you're actually allowed to pass through, it's happening rather quickly. It's happening rather quickly for how slow we're actually integrating something and how slow we actually want it to go. So I don't know if that means hurry up. I don't know if that means don't expect to like feel like you're ready. I'm just going to say I'm just going to tell you how I feel about it, and then you can decipher that for yourself, because it will be different for everybody. But there's something that we're creating. The problem is that our focus and our control of what's being created is happening really, really slow. And there's something here. There's something in the present. There's something coming up. There's some decision, some sort of choice with the fairy godmother that we know we need to make. And the time for that is now. And that's going to be very uncomfortable for whoever this message is for. It's going to be uncomfortable because we don't feel like we're ready. There's another image in here that may be important for somebody right now. That right now is striking me as like an Egyptian scarab beetle. So Egyptian deities may be very important right now. I'm also seeing underneath this little red jewel, so that's making me think of like the Philosopher's Stone. So that may be important for somebody right now. This is really speaking to me about the cosmic heart, right? This divine order to things, and possibly understanding the divine feminine energy inside of that divine order to things. There's a process of creating and making ourself that we are undergoing right now. Malachite might be important for somebody. For some reason that just popped into my head. And I'm being told to look at the numbers going up. We have a 9, we have a 25, we have a 12. And then we have a 25 down here. So there's 2 25s, repeating 25s. This is a change in how we relate to people. 2 being the way that we relate to others or partnerships, and 5 is change. So maybe even the types of partnerships that we want are changing, or the types of friends that we want are changing. Maybe the way that we relate to people is changing. We have number 9. There's something that we're putting behind. Something's moving into the past. But 9 is also a humanitarian number. It's like... a higher purpose, a higher calling. We have 25 following that again. There's this higher calling to change the way that we relate in some way. And this is something that brings us back into ourself, right? It starts with a relationship to the self with the 1 and 2. Okay, I'm going to leave this here. Whoever this message is for, this is pretty big. This is pretty big because this feels like a reading for somebody who is in a moment that is actually going to set them up for a huge, like, transformational phase, right? The transformation has already been taken, but it's almost an initiation into a period where it's like now everything's like locked in, and whatever the point is for you as a soul is going to start taking place. But it hinges on this choice, and it hinges on this choice being made while this sort of initiatory gateway is open. There's something about the energy is right now, and it may not have the same effects if we wait to feel ready for it. So whoever this message is for, good luck with this energy. And if this resonates for you, please hit that like button. And until next time.